Meanwhile, a lot of big names making the move to the Saudi Pro League. Some added, of course, over the weekend. Edward Mendy, Ziyech, according to reports, are heading there from Chelsea. Koulibaly was done as well this weekend. Ruben Neves making the move. N'Golo Kante, Benzema, Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, done earlier in the year. Mark, is there any concern in the Premier League that they're seeing some of these names leave? Because normally it would be to go to Real Madrid or to Barcelona, but this is slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's concern. I think clubs like Chelsea are delighted that Saudi Arabian teams are coming in and getting players off the books. I think the players that have gone so far, I mean, maybe Ruben Neves is a surprise, but, you know, it was a surprise when he went to Wolves, so Neves is quite an unusual situation. But I don't think the players that are going to Saudi at the moment are players that the Premier League is desperate to keep. I just think clubs that are looking to offload players like Chelsea will see it as an absolute godsend that they can get these players off the books. But, you know, I think if they get a player in his peak, a player that, you know, isn't out of his contract or in his early 30s that's maybe looking for his last move, then it'd be a concern. But the people I've spoken to in Saudi are saying that, look, the plan isn't to make this the best league in the world, it's to make it the go-to league outside the big European leagues, because they are realistic. They know that players in their prime want to play in the Champions League, and the Saudi Arabian league can't offer that. It can't offer, I mean, the Asian Champions League is no big deal to players in Europe. So, but what they want to do is get these star players, and it's all part of the plan to make Saudi Arabia a more appealing nation. So when the World Cup bid comes around for 2030, they can say, look, we've got a thriving league, lots of big players, we can handle football. But I don't think the big clubs in Europe should be worried just yet about losing the best players. I think right now it's a great opportunity to get rid of players that are earning too much money and they can't get rid of anywhere else.
I think if you come in and take young Bukayo Saka and you take Harry Kane or you take Rodri or, you know, obviously Erling Haaland, I mean, just crazy players, then you'd sit up and go, wow. But these are just guys who, not all, but they were struggling a little bit. The clubs wanted them out and they wanted a payday. So, and who's, I think, you know, people are not all of a sudden going to be watching the Saudi Pro League,
right?
Because these guys are there. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, but they've got the money. I mean, that's the big. I think the concern is they've got the money to go and try and tempt some big stars away if they want. Whether they're going to do that, and whether these players are interested in going. More importantly, which I don't think they would be. Not at the stages of their career that some of the guys that I mentioned are at.
Frank, of course, you went to Qatar. You took the money as they look to grow their domestic league. Does it make a difference to have these big names there, or is it just kind of a flash in the pan?
Well, everybody thought, you know, it happened in Japan, then in Qatar, and I think China tried as well to make it work. It doesn't work because it's normally can only interesting the player in the pre-retreat, I would say, not the players who are 25, 26. I'm very surprised that Neves at 26 decided to go there. I think it's a waste for his career. But yeah, it improves. I think it improved in Qatar, the football in Qatar overall. But I think it's like a commercial. They won the World Cup, like Qatar wanted the World Cup, and they I think gonna get it because you put the focus on the country, and names can help, you know, sponsors and everything coming up and be selected for a new World Cup. But at the end of the day, we saw that during the World Cup in Qatar, that Qatar didn't exist. Because, I mean, it takes decades to improve a country to be better. We can see that with the United States. It takes decades to get better, and it is still not there. They're still not competing to be champion of the world. I'm talking about the US. So Qatar is far away and will never be there because it's too small. Saudi Arabia is a big country. So maybe at some point they can achieve something, and you see good players and some good teams. But I think football was created in Europe, was extended in South America, and we have so much culture. We have 100 years of culture in that matter, in that sport, that it's almost impossible for the other continent to get back at us.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.